Hi, my name is Lance. Welcome to the Nog. We just boarded the Carnival Jubilee, sailing out of Galveston, Texas. We are excited for 7 days on this ship. It's the first day, embarkation day. It's the shortest day of your cruise, and it's probably the most important. We wanted to share with you our tips and tricks to have a successful sailing, specifically what you need to do on boarding day. Embarkation day can be a very hectic day aboard any sailing, whether you're sailing on Carnival or sailing on any other cruise line. We wanted to bring some tips to you that help you have the best experience possible for not only boarding day, but for the rest of your cruise, because there's very important things that you need to take care of on that first day. So we're going to start with the most important, and that is get your muster drill done.
For any first-time cruisers out there, your muster drill is a quick safety briefing that every passenger must attend before it can sail away. Where you will gather for this drill, or in case of a real emergency, is based on where your stateroom is on the ship, and you can find your muster station on your boarding pass on Carnival cruises. The safety briefing itself is just that, very brief, with the most important things that they go over being where to find and how to use your life vest in case of emergency. Staff members will continually do these briefings all throughout embarkation day, but it'll only take a few minutes and you're free to go to enjoy the rest of your boarding day. If you're sailing with children, they'll have wristbands available that show where the muster station is so they always know where to go, or if they're separated from you for any reason, crew can help get them to the proper muster station in that rare case of an emergency. But because every passenger must do it, that's why we put it first on the list. Knock it out when you first board the ship, but you can move right along to our next tip to do on boarding day, and that's to pull out your phone, connect to the ship's Wi-Fi, and check out the Hub app. We recommend spending about 20 or 30 minutes going through each day of the fun times, sign up for things that you want to sign up for, and get a feel for what days and what times certain activities are taking place. If you have a Wi-Fi plan, go ahead and connect to that. If you want to utilize the ship's chat feature for the sailing, go ahead and sign up for that. If you're sailing on the Carnival Jubilee, one of the biggest thrills on the ship is Bolt, the ultimate coaster at sea. In order to ride Bolt, you do have to make a reservation. Just like any theme park ride, there could always be weather or maintenance issues that prevent it from being open. So we advise you to book it as early as you can in your sailing for as early as you can in your sailing to experience all the thrills of riding a roller coaster on a cruise ship. Other activities on this sailing that are exclusively found on the Hub app, things like the Build-A-Bear workshops, as well as the Parched Pig brewery tours. Things like this often have limited space, so knowing when they are and signing up for them early can be really important. We love to attend the playlist productions on our Carnival cruises, so while we're scrolling through the Hub app for each day of the sailing, we go ahead and heart or favorite all those performances that we'd want to see. Here on the Carnival Jubilee, we got to enjoy the brand new show to Carnival Entertainment, Dear Future Husband, as well as a classic favorite, Celestial Strings. As we scroll through the fun times, we make sure to see what's going on each night at center stage. It could be the high-flying energy show Rio on the Jubilee. You can see if there's anything special going on for any holidays during your sailing. You can plan out what nights you need to wear what attire for all the fun deck parties going on. Other things we try to make sure we heart so we don't miss are the always hilarious Love and Marriage show, just about any of the comedy shows, game shows like Deal or No Deal, Family Feud, Bingo, and then even during the day, any particular trivia that you think you might have a chance to win, go ahead and favor those. Then you're all set to be reminded about all those activities via notification from the Hub app. Now you also want to do the same thing for the food section of the Hub app. Check out the main dining room menus. If you don't want to miss a lobster tail night, be sure to know what night it's going to be. And this is important because if you want to book somewhere else, such as the steakhouse, maybe the Italian restaurant Cucina del Capitano, or the Mexican Chinese fusion restaurant Shebang, you could try to book those on days where the main dining room menu might not suit your taste as much. If you've got any Dr. Seuss fans and want to attend the Dr. Seuss breakfast, you can go ahead and book a table for one of those so you and your family don't miss out on the fun to be had at that breakfast. And something that's commonly overlooked is tea time on sea days. You'll find that all the way at the bottom, but in the food section, not the what's happening section. Usually it's 3 to 4 in one of the main dining rooms on a sea day. So all the scrolling is done. Now it's time to get that first lunch on the ship. There's no better lunch to be had on the Carnival Jubilee, or any Carnival ship for that matter, than grabbing a super melty cheeseburger from Guy's Burger Joint. And don't forget to cap off that lunch with your first of many trips to the Swirls ice cream station. While on the topic of food and dining rooms, one thing that we try to do every boarding day that we don't see a lot of other people do is check out the main dining room. Use your time on boarding day to get the lay of the land of how to get to the dining room and then where might be a good table that you want to eat at if you have your time dining, or you could see exactly where you're going to be sitting if you've got one of the set time dinings. If you maybe want to move around, see if you can get a seat by a window or join with another party on the ship for a larger table. You can visit the Maitre D during set hours on boarding day and see if they can accommodate your requests. Even though we haven't used it, if you do have any food allergies, you can find this booth in the Lido Marketplace on boarding day and get you all set up with a great interactive system that lets you know what foods are available or you need to stay away from at each of the dining venues across the ship. Check out that Menu Mate booth or talk to one of the staff members to get more info on that. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How could we be halfway through this video and we have not talked about the fun ship? You're sailing on the Carnival Jubilee or any Carnival ship, you gotta have a fun ship as your first drink when you board. It's the drink of the day. It's absolutely delicious. Make it a tradition to have that as your first drink. And don't be ashamed if you go out of order and do that before your muster station. You've explored the main dining room. If it's not 1:30 yet, you still can't go to your stateroom. So go ahead and keep exploring the ship. We like to go to all the places that we know we're going to be at a lot. We like to watch all the shows. So let's go visit the theater, figure out where the best seats are. And here's a great example on the Jubilee. If you notice as you take a look around this empty theater, there's no bar, and that means no bar service. If you're going to want to drink at the show, the closest place to do that is on deck 7 in the Jubilee Casino. And that leads us to another area that you might want to be exploring on boarding day. The casino, of course, will not open until you set sail and are in international waters. But if you're the gambling type, go ahead, find your favorite machines, find your favorite table games, see how many spots there are for your favorite table games. Here on the Jubilee, they sadly just have one craps table for the entire 6,000 passenger ship, so space is limited. But overall, as part of your exploration, it's just good to know where everything is for later on in your cruise. And just like exploring the casino for adults, the kids got to explore where they're going to be hanging out, and that's Camp Ocean. This place is for the kiddos. Boarding day is going to be the only time you as a grown-up can come in and take a tour of the facility, but they'll be glad to do that and show you everything that the kids have to offer. Don't forget when you're checking your hub app, if you got kids with you, scroll over to the kids and teens section to be able to check out what their what's happening is. They'll list all the things that they're doing, and they can favorite those as well so they don't miss out on the fun activities scheduled for them and their peers. Camp Ocean being for kids up to age 11. You can do a registration for them before you board, but you'll still want to check in at Camp Ocean on boarding day to go over all the rules for pickups and drop-offs. For the older teenagers, you've got Club O2, and for the younger teenagers, you've got Circle C. Now, these don't have any registrations or anything that you need to do really beforehand, but you can usually go in and visit them here on boarding day since they're not open until the evening. On some of our sailings, these have been closed and locked on boarding day, but usually you can get in, see what the area looks like and what all the activities they have for your kids before you set sail. For all 3 kids clubs, they do open after dinner time on that first day, and we strongly encourage you to go and attend that club that first day so they can make friends with all the other kids. They'll have a blast the rest of the sailing with those friends. You don't want to have them miss out on that opportunity on that first night when everyone's introducing themselves for the first time. Keeping with the kid theme, the Warehouse Arcade might be something you want to explore on embarkation day. You check out all the games they have to offer, and probably more importantly, the prices of those games, so you know exactly what kind of limit you need to set on your kids' sail and sign cards. While the kids have the arcade to entertain them, grown-ups can use embarkation day to visit the spa and take a tour of all the facilities there. We always try to visit the spa tours taking place on embarkation day. It's just great to know what they have to offer in case there's something we want to try out later in the sailing. They usually have discounts for attending the spa tour. You get an entry into our spa raffle. More on that in just a moment. At the end of the spa tour, they typically have massage tasters. Even if it's just for a few seconds, it's a soothing relief for all the efforts you're putting forth on embarkation day to make the rest of your sailing the best it can be.
Wait, you don't get to do the honors.
Sorry, Charlie.
By now, it's got to be at least 1:30. That means you could head to your stateroom and take a look at where you're going to be living for the next 7 days or however long your sailing is. And we recommend to check for all your pre-cruise purchases, make sure they're all delivered properly. Check your electronics, check your fridge, check your air conditioning, make sure it's all up to par. Definitely check out all the plumbing in the bathroom. You don't want to turn on the water and see something like this that I experienced on the Carnival Valor. But that's a perfect segue into probably the most important thing about getting to your room is that's meeting your room steward. They're going to take great care of you on the cruise, and they can help you with anything wrong with your room. The last thing you want to make sure of on boarding day is that you get your checked luggage delivered to your room and not someone else's down the hall.
When they deliver your luggage to the wrong room.
I'll get it.
And we weren't the only ones.
They're struggling with the luggage today. I've got someone else's luggage that's in 5333, and our room is 5233. So I'm gonna go all the way down and return it for them, because I'm a gentleman.
One thing when we first started cruising that we always avoided, but now we start to do more and more, is to stop and actually visit some of the kiosks that surround the ship on boarding day. You can learn a great deal of information. There's tons of raffles, contests, and giveaways. If you don't actually take the spa tour, you can visit the spa kiosk and still enter one of those raffles. Don't forget about it though, because if you're not in attendance, they won't let you win. The time has come. The ship's ready to set sail. That means the sail away deck party. The sail away party is just that first big event where all the passengers can come together. You can celebrate the ship leaving port and your vacation truly starting. Now you could choose like we did here, walk up right when it starts and just make your way somewhere on the dance floor. Or possibly even scout out your location beforehand like we did back on the Carnival Vista when we knew we wanted a shaded place in the middle of the summer, be able to be close to the pool, close to the drinks, close to the food, and most importantly have that great spot for when that sail away party kicks off. And you don't need to be a great dancer to go out and have some fun. You could take in one of the awesome dance competitions, sometimes highlighting the really great dancers and sometimes the not so great. But it's all about having fun with your fellow passengers and celebrating the fact that you're about to have a great vacation. Now, if you don't find us at the sail away party, you probably will find us enjoying the views of leaving port. It's actually one of the great things I think that goes a little bit underrated. The fact that you can watch your ship leave the city that it's ported in. Doesn't matter if you're on the Gulf Coast, the West Coast, Florida, every port that you leave from has its own character. And there's so much to see and take in from the vantage point of leaving on a cruise ship from that city. Do yourself a favor if you can, find a spot when the ship's pulling out, when it's pulling away, take in what you can. If you need some more peace and quiet and you have a balcony stateroom, that's a perfect chance to sit out there and relax and take in those sail away views and say goodbye to the stresses of the real world and hello to vacation. And don't you think I forgot, you're gonna have people hiding ducks all across the ship. We love to keep track in a friendly competition of who finds the most ducks. There'll definitely be people hiding them even on that first boarding day, so be on the lookout for the cruising ducks.
What lucky found a duck from Joe and Steph from Canada, eh? They make Texas ducks.
So based off our tips from earlier, you should be all set for dinner. Nothing pairs better with that first meal than a pre-dinner cocktail. And on the Carnival Jubilee, there's no better venues than the specialty bars found on Deck 6, the Golden Mermaid, and Dr. Ink's PhD. Make sure you visit both early and often, because every time we ordered a new drink, it seemed like it was better than the last. So that only leaves us with our final recommendation for boarding day, and that's to attend the Meet Your Cruise Director show, followed by the Residency show.
He's ready for the best cruise ever!
Here, your cruise director will introduce themselves as well as their fun squad.
And Kindle Fighter, your cruise director. Y'all say, hey, Kindle! Residency! More.
And that'll be followed by a medley of performances from all the singers, dancers, band members, and aerialists that will be entertaining you all throughout your cruise. Definitely love how they did this on the Carnival Jubilee and Excel class ships. It's nice that it's different than the old version of the Welcome Aboard show, but even if you're not sailing on the Carnival Jubilee or any of the other Excel class ships, make an effort to attend that Welcome Aboard show, get to know a little bit about your cruise director, and take in that preview of the playlist cast that'll be performing all throughout your cruise.
As you can see, we are wrapping up embarkation day here on the Jubilee. It was a long, busy day for us, but we are prepared for the next 7 days. We know exactly what we want to do and how to maximize our enjoyment here on the Jubilee. If you follow the tips and tricks we talked about in this video, I think you'll enjoy your embarkation day as well, plus be set for the rest of your sailing on your upcoming cruise. We're set here. We can't wait to bring more of the Carnival Jubilee to you. Make sure you hit subscribe. Join the virtual Nog Vlog family, because here at the Nog Vlog, you're always welcome to come to the trip.